Hi, welcome back into Delphine's Handcrafted. I'm Deborah.
I'm Jasmine.
Thank you for all of you that are returning, and welcome into anybody that's new. If you remember last podcast, we decided we're going to start making goals to work on things between podcasts and see how we do to try help keep us on track. My goal was to get October and at least part of November done on my mix and match calendar. Oh my goodness. Mix and match mosaic blanket for the Scenic Beauty calendar for the Yarny Fiber Sisters make along. I don't think I had another, might have had another goal, but I don't remember having another goal.
I don't think you did.
I knew I had a lot going on at work because I was in trainings and things. So that was my goal. So we will address whether I got that done. And what were your goals?
To finish the Selma sleep suit, I think. I think that's my only goal that I had. Maybe. Oh, and I think I said start the next baby thing, and maybe do something with your socks.
Okay.
Maybe, but I'm not entirely sure.
So let's see. Did we meet our goals? What do you think? Did we meet our goals? Let's take a look. So the first haul we'll go over is just a small Hobby Lobby haul. I was looking for yarn for my August granny squares for the make along for the Yarny Fiber Sisters, and this is the picture for August. And I ended up purchasing, I have started using it, so they're not complete skeins, but this is Meadow Dance. They're all, I love this yarn. 142 grams, 252 yards, or 230 meters. And it's 100% acrylic. Worsted weight. So this is it showing? So that's Meadow Dance, and I also got I Love This Yarn in Solid, which is in Aberdeen. Aberdeen. How do you say that correctly?
I usually say Aberdeen, but I don't actually know if that's how you're supposed to.
And that's 355 yards for the solid. And I also got Cranberry in the same type of yarn. So they're my 3 yarns for my squares for August. And Jasmine got something special.
I got a, what's it called? Yarn bowl. There you go. It's a little teacup. There's a teacup.
It's a big teacup.
The teacup. I like tea.
And show them the fake tea bag inside.
There's a tea bag.
Is it working well for you?
Yes.
She started using it already. And another haul that we did was for Hobby, and this was mostly because they had their sale on silly socks and still had some sale on the Twister Solid, which we really love the feel of. So do you want to show?
Oh,
got several
is
of
this
these.
corn or is it sunflower?
No, I don't know what it is. The paper. Sorry, I had the paper. Found it. All right. What number is that?
152.
So that's pineapple.
Oh, it's pineapple, not
So,
sunflower. My
Twister
brain
Solid.
went backwards.
And we got several of those.
4? Is it 4?
I think so. 4 of those.
4.
And this is such soft yarn. If you want to explain
it's the
that.
acrylic, like 50-something% acrylic. Oh, sorry, 55% cotton, 45% acrylic. I got it switched.
And it's 100 grams. It's a 2 weight. Very pretty. And to go along with that, we got corn. The color corn. which is also number 120. And I believe, did we get 4 of those too?
Yeah.
So they're different.
Pineapple, corn.
Yep.
Corn.
They are so soft. And they were still having a good deal on those. You want to share the silly socks?
Well, where's the one that you started?
Okay, just show those.
Okay, I was saying where's the one that you started so I could show it first. This one is in the, do these have names or are they just numbers? It's underneath. Underneath the twister, Mother.
Tell me the number.
It's
Nope, they don't have numbers. They don't have names.
This is color number 5. Mom started using it already. So,
and this is all the silly socks, which is 75% wool, 25% polyamide superwash wool.
what color is that?
And this one is color number 7. It also has some purple in it, but more tans and things. So this is a 1.
Yeah, it's
super
a big
fine.
weight.
100 grams in each one of these. So that's the first 2.
Then we have color number 8, which is, they're all self-striping.
And have you used one of these yet?
No.
And this one is color number 6. So I actually did start using one of those, and
It looks like vegetables.
yeah, it's splitting a tiny bit, not a lot. I think it's because of what I'm using and how I'm holding the knitting needles. I'm actually knitting with it, so we'll be showing that in a little bit.
And then the like free item
Yes, the free item, we got more stitch markers.
with different sizes on this one.
Yes,
Than
so
the
this
ones we got
has
before.
8, 9, 10, 12, 15. So I do like these stitch markers. We got much smaller sizes the last time, so we have a good array.
I think they were like the 3s and 4s and stuff.
So that's our hobby haul.
Yep.
We love our hobby.
Yep.
Plenty of sock making material.
When we went to Joann's and Hobby Lobby, we went to Michael's as well. And
We have a coupon for there.
yeah, we didn't really see any yarn we were interested in getting. So we just browsed the whole store and I found the notebooks were on sale. And I found a cute little notebook that says, "Be the windshield, not the bug." Well, a bunch of bugs.
And I got the little llama on a bicycle. So we got some new. They're under the journal section, but they're like little notebooks. And we like the spiral bounds, you know, since you can
I like
lay
how
them
they
flat
lay
when
flat.
you're taking notes.
Sorry,
But
peeling
what
off
do you
the
think?
Sticker.
Bugs or a
Bugs.
llama?
What?
Llama
Bugs.
or llama?
Oh, the bugs. The bug is way cuter. They're little,
this
it's
little
little
llama
illustrations of bugs, Mom.
It has so many flowers.
Like-
They're flying off the back as it just,
Beetles and moths and / maybe butterflies. I'm not so good with what bugs are, but
you want these pincher bugs in your area?
I didn't say I wanted real bugs, but illustrations of bugs are cute.
I will say that the saying is so cool. I think it's so important. Be the windshield, not the bug.
I'm
All
peeling
right.
off all the
So
stickers.
that is our hauls. We've had quite a few. Finished objects and WIPS. I'm going to start because let me tell you, we had the goal of, I had the goal of getting from at least November or at least October done, right? and November started. Now, granted, it's been double the time that we normally would have come back, but once I got November started, I was like, I gotta finish it, and then I'm like, our yarn came for the border, and I just finished my mix and match mosaic blanket for the Yarny Fiber Sister make along. I wanted it done. Now let me tell you, it took me about, I bet you, how many hours do you think it took me for this border?
Well, you did it
double
in
border.
like 4 days.
Yeah, and I worked, probably 2 of those were almost full days.
Yeah.
It was a long time to make the double border. So this thing is huge. I have taken a picture of it, and I will add it right after we discuss it. You'll see a picture of it, but I'm just trying to get to the end.
Yeah.
The November part here.
It's complicated. It's big.
This thing is big.
It's like a king size blanket big.
So this was October. That was, I finished. I had it partially done last time. I think I just had like the top V part to do. And this is December or November's.
Yeah.
Which can't.
It's
yeah. The coloring I used wasn't as prominent. I was going to do mostly like navy and white with a little bit of the light blue border. Well, it wasn't. It was called frost, not white.
That's like a gray color.
It took a long time, and this double border is this thick, this wide. So I did all navy on the back, and then it's just really hard to see. And the way you put the double border on initially, the stitches, you really have to find them. Once you get around it the first time, you're good to go. But I chose to use, I can't remember the name and the color of the yarn, but it's more like a light blue. And in the picture I put up, you won't be able to see it very well because it doesn't show very well. But I did light blue with the frost for the pattern. And then it's like navy at the top and bottom.
Sky blue.
Thank you, sky blue. It's the one that I bought tons of yarn for because I didn't know how much I needed. And sorry, we have 7 dogs here now, so I have hair floating. We're babysitting, we're dog sitting for my son while he's away for his military 2-week stint. But there's the back, double border. It enclosed all the ends. It's very nice, very sturdy. I like the outcome of it. Some months I like better than others, but I think as a whole it looks pretty cool. I would never have chosen to put all these colors together on my own, obviously, but it looks pretty neat.
It's like, it's eccentric.
Yes, I like it. I think I'm going to enjoy having it. It's
like
just
it.
huge. It's absolutely.
And considering you decided.
Yeah, we'll go down the months.
Oh,
real quick.
Okay.
So we got January, February, March. You can see where they split.
April. May.
June is the biggest one there.
June. July. August. September. October.
November.
And then the
outside was
border
for December for the City Beauty calendar. So I enjoyed it. I'm really apologetic about these dogs. I enjoyed it, and any mosaic past this point, other than the one I'm making for another make along, I think I'll be choosing my own colors and doing my own thing for the most part, which I can choose my own colors for that other make along that I'm doing. So I think I really enjoyed this process. First time I ever did mosaic, absolutely loved it. Learned a lot throughout the process, a lot about the importance of the yarn. Even if you get, DK, I use DK for this. A DK in this yarn doesn't mean it's going to be the same size, as the DK in this yarn, and it sometimes that won't matter necessarily, but it did make a lot of difference in the mosaic. Some of the widths started pulling in with the yarns that were smaller. So, yeah, I learned a lot in the process. So in future, I'm trying to use very, very similar sized yarns for my mosaic section. So my blanket's not sort of looking like this on the outside until I get the border on. The border did help though. It seemed to like pull it out,
Yeah.
straightened out once it was done and hanging up. But I learned a lot and I enjoyed it. And I love my blanket. I'm glad the double border's done. The double border was just, whew.
You took
But
ages
I
to
don't
do
know
it.
that it would have been any better me having to sew in all those ends either. There's my
Well, the
finished.
easy thing to do about that is just tassel. Just leave it
Yeah,
tassels.
so that's my finished object. So I also am working on the Yarny Fiber Sisters Scenic Beauty Cowl in a granny square blanket, which I'm up to August, which that's the picture for August. Yeah, I think it was a little crazy that I chose to do both things, but they hadn't brought up the mosaic calendar until we already started. So the Scenic Beauty Cowl, you could choose and do whatever you wanted. So I started this first, and I definitely wanted to do that mosaic because I like the look of it. But I have finished my first square in August, and I have most of the other 4 done. Just the outside edge is not done, but this is the square that I'm doing. I'm not sure how clear that is, but it's called the Butterfly or Blueberry Field Square. And I'm using the colors that I got at Hobby Lobby, yes. So this is my square for August. And I have the other squares done except for this outside border here. It's done with a herringbone double crochet. Is that the correct side? Nope, this is the correct side. But herringbone double crochet, which makes all the double crochets sort of slant. Very interesting pattern. I'm enjoying it. So that's my August. And once I finish that, I do have the yarn for September, so I can get started on those. And I will have another blanket. I think the squares themselves aren't taking me too long. So putting them together will be like doing the double border on the mosaic. Not the part that I love, but yes. So I'm getting there. Your finished objects.
Can I show this?
But does Jasmine have off her needles and hooks? I don't know if you didn't crochet anything, so everything's off needles for you.
Yeah, I haven't crocheted anything in a while. I keep planning to restart my one sweater that's crocheted. But I am trying to focus on the baby things mainly now. I finished my sorry, I was yawning. Selma Sleep Suit by Petite Knit. In the size, is it 3 to 6 months? Is that what? 3 to 6 months. I finished this like the day after doing the last podcast, but it took me a few days to actually get the buttons on.
How long did it take the buttons to go on?
I really hate buttons, so they always take me forever because I hate buttons. So I legitimately took 4 hours to put on 5 buttons. Throughout multiple
days. I had a little
days.
giggle whenever she told me that.
Throughout multiple days as well. I didn't just sit there straight for 4 hours doing the buttons. It just took me a total of 4 hours to do the buttons because I really hate doing buttons. They're so boring.
So it turned out really nice. I think it's really soft.
Yeah.
It feels really, really nice, and it's going to be warm. And then the bottom folds down.
Yeah.
The little leggies and
the
sleeves do the same thing.
Yeah. Little thingy.
Yeah, so I think it turned out really nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep.
First baby gift completely done. That is the first one, right? That's completely done.
Yeah, you said that, and I was like, no, I have another, but no, I don't. I don't have another one completely done.
Anything else that's completely done for you?
I'm folding this in the weirdest way. Put that back on the bag it came from. I have half a completed thing. It's completed, but it's only half, it's a set. I decided to completely restart the sock that I was making for her. And I restarted it, and I completed one of them.
So I have one sock
Yes.
with a tail.
With, well, it has two tails.
Yes.
I did a lacework thing, leg, and a specific kind of heel flap that I can't think of what it's called, but it's not the normal slip stitch heel flap that a lot of people do. I can't remember what it's called.
And what yarn was this? Is this the Mary Maxim?
It's the Mary Maxim bamboo stripes in palm tree or palm something.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't have that out, this little yarn thing out, so I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's something like that.
How did you like working with that yarn?
It was good. I do prefer the regular, like from them, the regular like sock yarn that doesn't have the bamboo in it. But
It's sort of softer though.
yeah.
I have a sock, people. After
Yeah.
all this time, I have a sock.
Well, once I restarted it, this sock got done pretty quickly.
Yes. Anything else that's completely done?
Nope.
So I will show my one, I'm going to call it one whip because those other squares are pretty much done. I did get a 9-inch circular,
Yes, you did.
and I've
And
been wanting for a
US
while to try to make
US
socks.
1.5.
US, and I chose to do 1.5 because I learned, as I think I mentioned in the last podcast, that I'm a tight knitter. So I started my own sock. So this is in the Silly Socks, whatever that, I don't remember the color number, but the one that we didn't have the whole skein of, from Hobby. And I did a knit one, purl one, rib for 20 rows, and I think I'm started for the 14th row for my leg part. And my gauge is pretty much on track. From what we counted and measured last night. So far, I have part of a sock. I'm proud of myself. It's quite different working with these tiny little, in the tiny little circular fashion there, but I'm getting there. Jasmine tells me how much slower I'm going than her, but
whenever she started it, she forgot how to connect it and to make it in the round, so she started trying to knit it flat on accident.
yeah, which she explained to me what I had done. I couldn't figure out, I had a stitch marker that kept just sliding right back down my needle, and I'm like, why is this not staying in place? And she explained to me what I did wrong, so I'm learning as I go.
You're doing very well.
It's quite interesting. But I think it's turning into a pretty pattern.
Yeah,
And
I like it.
The yarn does split sometimes, but I think it's me. I don't think the yarn itself isn't. It's me, the way I'm holding my needles and I'm trying to put them through. I grabbed some of the yarn the wrong way. So I think it's me. I don't think, we'll have to see when Jasmine used the yarn, how she does with it, since this is new to me and I'm, fidgeting a little more than she probably will by this point. She's done quite a bit of sock knitting. So, yeah, it feels nice. I like the feel of the yarn. So we'll see. We will show you the progress that I've done. I need to finish my squares.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be sort of a side project for me as I
Bring
finish
it
some
to
other
work,
things.
do it on
Yeah,
lunch
this I said this is a lot nicer to carry and do, when you're having to carry, instead of me trying to carry an entire blanket into my work and work on it. This is something I can just pull out and work on during my lunch break, when I actually get a lunch break. But yeah, that's my only whip, I believe. But that blanket, I decided that was getting finished, period. I was getting finished and off my hooks completely.
So you got 9-inch circulars. I got some 5-inch DPNs because I made the decision to do her socks that I'm making for her on DPNs instead of the 9-inch circulars. Sorry, I have yarn wrapped around everything.
And this here just scares me. This is like me trying to stab myself with 8.
Well,
eight points.
that's why I wanted to get shorter ones, because when I'm knitting specifically socks, I feel the need to bring them very close to my face when I'm knitting them. I don't have a reason for that. It just feels right. So I kept poking myself in the face with the longer DPNs. So I wanted to get shorter ones. So I got shorter ones, and they're wooden. I would have preferred metal, but it's fine. But I started her second sock. I'm only like 2 rows past the cuff. So, there's not much to show, but it's a cuff. It's a cuff of a sock.
Did you do the first sock on the DPNs, or
Yeah.
did you use...
Yeah. I did the first sock on these DPNs.
Okay.
And then my third WIP, I guess. I started the undershirt from the one of the books, one of the sets in the book that I showed last time. I can't remember what the set is called, of the Baby Knits book. And I got the back panel done. I had it folded, so it's a little weirdly shaped, and it hasn't been blocked or anything, but I got the back panel done.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I like
Yeah.
it. So tell us what you think of the yarn you've been using.
It's made out of the baby cotton. It's 100% organic Egyptian cotton from Hobby. And it's a bit... I don't know what color this is, actually. Color 13.
I can't remember. It's called something lilac, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like it. It's a soft cotton. It's not giving my eczema any issues like some cottons do.
Not splitting.
No.
Explain that she struggled with this because trying to read the pattern, it was difficult.
So that pattern book, it doesn't have like super, I mean, some of the other patterns might be better, but the pattern that I was working from, it doesn't have like super well written. It's not like super well written in the sense, at least for someone like me, and apparently you, because you also
I was trying to figure it out,
having
but
hard
you know,
time.
I don't read knit patterns yet.
But like it wasn't like clear, like when I was reading it at least, what it wanted me to do, and the bottom clearly had like it's bottom up knit, and the bottom clearly had an edging, but nowhere in the instructions did it say that you're supposed to add an edging, so I was really confused. But the edging was the same as on the straps and neckline.
So she's going from the picture that we could see something clearly on the picture that was not being described in the pattern.
So like the edging was clearly the same on the neckline and the straps, and but they never actually said to put it on the bottom, so I was confused then. And then whenever I was reading through the whole thing, trying to determine what even the edging was, and they're like, do this, like this, I don't even remember what it's called, like, it's like a row in between where the ribbing, like where ribbing normally would be, but it's just plain stockinette. And the actual lacework pattern. It's like, do that row that's in between for the edging, so I was confused because that doesn't remotely look the same as the edging. But then after like rereading it like 6 times, there's like only in one part of the whole pattern when it says to do the edging, does it actually say fold it over and it creates the edging.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that might just be a me problem of
Now,
not.
did you have to sew that down?
My brain
or
doesn't work.
when you folded it over.
Well, yeah, it says to sew it down. I just use a crochet hook and like slip stitched it because like and essentially knitting 2 together, but I was using a crochet hook.
Do you want to show what that looks like folded down?
It's folded down. I don't.
On the inside.
No, because it's just it looks.
So you basically folded it over and it made like this
It's
bumpy
just a seam.
area.
It just looks like a seam.
Yeah, we could see the bumpy area here in the picture, but
Yeah,
we
it's
couldn't
like
figure out how
scalloped.
it was made. So I guess when you folded it, it formed that scallopy look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's very, very pretty. It's going to turn out darling.
Darling.
Darling. Darling for the baby. Okay, any other whips? I think you have other whips, but maybe not.
No.
Nope, no other
No,
whips.
that was my last one.
That's our finished objects and whips.
Was-
We did a lot. I think we did a lot in the... I mean, it's been a little while since we did a podcast, but we've done a lot.
Yeah.
Been busy bees.
Yeah. I also finished a washcloth, but that's not really that important to show. Well, it's a dishcloth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a washcloth pattern, but we use it for dishcloths.
What yarn did you use for it?
The washcloth?
Mm-hmm.
Just leftover like cotton yarn that I had.
Yeah.
From-
you want to grab it? Since
Well,
it's yellow. I just don't remember having
It's
it. That's why I was
just
wondering.
It's just leftover.
It's just a little...
just
That's a pretty
leftover-
yellow. That's why I was wondering what yarn it was. I couldn't remember having
It's
the yellow yarn.
leftover cotton yarn from an amigurumi thing that
Oh.
that mouse thing. What chip? Chip?
Yes.
Is it called
That
chip?
you made for...
Yeah,
the baby.
for my niece.
our kid. Yeah. Our kid. Not our kid.
No,
It's
my niece,
my
your
son's
granddaughter.
child. Yes. All
I
right.
think it's called chip.
We have been busy.
My phone just vibrated.
All right. Goals for next time.
Goals for next time.
Goals for next time. Well, I got a big load off my lap, literally, and off my hook with that blanket.
Yeah.
That thing was getting heavy. I think for next time, I definitely want to finish. Well, I absolutely need to finish the squares for August because they're almost done, and do September squares. I think. So that they're at least done.
You don't want to make a goal of just completing all of the squares.
I don't even know if I have the yarn for the rest of the squares. I decided to just do August and September for now. I think I do want to work more on the sock. I'm not making a goal for that other than to continue working on it. It does hurt my hands a little bit after a while because I'm just so... I have really bad... I think I'm starting to get arthritis, but I can't work on it a lot. But I definitely want to get... I'm going to say 20 more rows at least on the sock. I might do more, but that's gonna... My goal will be 20 more rows just because I want to get some other things done. I need to take a look at the baby blanket I had started making because it's been so long since I touched it that I really can't remember exactly what stitch I was doing on it, so I need to finish it, and I gotta find my directions because I was really bad. I was finding different stitches different ways and places and doing my own thing. So it's not a pattern, I made it myself. So I gotta figure out...
No, I know, but you used some stitches from that book.
From some book.
The 500 crochet stitch
So
book.
she knows. I have to find
Unless
my
you
pattern.
switched books
I have to
midway
see
through.
exactly what I was doing and get that finished. Yes, I need to get working on that. So it's getting done. Because I know what my plan was. I'm not sure how it's going to work out because I haven't tried it yet. But I want to get working some more on that blanket and see. I'm not sure if it'll get finished because it just depends on what I want to have happen, if it will look right. And if not, I'll have to put it down and figure out what to do. That's so I have my squares for August finish, September due. Do a little bit on my sock at least, and get working on that baby blanket again.
I want to work on your other sock, the second sock. Maybe get it done, and the front panel of the baby thing.
Which is quite a bit. All right, that's our goals. Have you guys been making goals? I hope so. Keep true on track. It actually helped for me to know that I said I was going to do this, and then I sort of went beyond because I just wanted it done. Okay, what have we been up to? As usual, I've been working. I did take a few days off here, so we were able to do our podcast. We have been babysitting.
Dog sitting.
Yes, dog sitting. I feel like it's babysitting, I'll tell you. Oh my goodness. 4 of my son's dogs are present with us, so you probably have heard them rattling around. It's very hard to keep the noise level down when you have 4 dogs moseying around.
7 dogs.
Well, there's 7 because we have 4 in addition. So my son is gone for 2 weeks and doing his military time away. So we are taking care of his dogs. And I took off 3 days to help Jasmine because they go outside so often, and it's like we take them out in at most 2 at a time.
Yeah. They don't behave when they're all out together,
Yes.
so
Yes.
we have to do, groups.
We live right beside a busy road, and we have a fence. But if we had them all at one time, we probably wouldn't have a fence. Yes, so 2 at a time. So it's a chore almost taking them outside.
Yeah, and they're all big dogs except for one.
One little one, yes.
One is tiny. The rest of them are big.
Yes. So I've taken off 3 days this week. I do have to work a little bit tomorrow just for one meeting that I have to go to. But other than that,
Yes.
and I have been listening on Audible to Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle.
I thought it was Conan.
Conan. However, who wrote that? Who put them all together?
Who's reading them?
Yes.
Stephen Fry.
So Stephen Fry, he has the complete collection, and I've been listening to that. I've gotten
I think
past
his name is
the
Stephen.
first book that he's done, and on to the second one. The second one is nothing like what I would have expected for
Pretty sure
a
his
Sherlock
name is Stephen.
Holmes mystery. But it's interesting. I don't know where my phone is, or I'd look it up. Is it A View in Scarlet
Yeah,
or something?
Stephen
What was the
Fry.
first one that I
Oh,
told
I
her?
don't know.
Something in Scarlet.
I don't know. A Study in Scarlet?
A Study in Scarlet. That was the first one
You've
that I
also supposedly
listened
listened to The Sign of 4 because you're on part 2 now, and part 1 had a foreword to A Study in Scarlet, A Study in Scarlet, and The Sign of 4.
to. I don't know what the Sign of 4 is, so...
I don't know, but
somehow I
that was in
missed
part
something.
1. You listened to part 1, you're on part 2 now. So, I don't know.
I have no idea what she's talking about, so I don't know if I fast-forwarded on Audible and didn't know it or what.
I'm just reading you.
But that's what I'm listening to. It's interesting. I haven't read all of his books, so it's interesting.
Oh, and in Ollie's today, sorry, am I moving too much?
It's like you're in a rocking chair.
Well, I'm in a chair that I can't reach the floor, so I like kicking my legs. In what is that book called that we saw today? Oh, in Ollie's today we saw a book called Conan Doyle for the Defense, where I guess he apparently turned real-life detective to free a man wrongly imprisoned for murder.
So some guy did.
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
He turned it into a real life detective, supposedly. It says it's based on a true story. I don't know. I've never heard
So
of that.
we didn't get it. It is on our Audible. It was pretty
I'm gonna
cheap,
borrow
though.
it from the library.
Yeah, it's also in our library. So it looked interesting.
Yeah.
It wasn't expensive. We could have gotten it paperback, but
Yeah, it was only like $2.
yeah, it wasn't very expensive. The books at Ollie's are really good prices.
Yeah, they never really have a lot of books that I'm interested in. They have a lot of Bibles in our Ollie's, like a lot, like over
Yes.
50.
Yes.
And they had a bunch of really pretty like holder things that were Bibles.
Book covers.
They looked like fake leather.
Oh,
like
okay,
the
yeah.
portfolio type
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
I haven't read a single thing in like 3 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. But I did start rewatching Grey's Anatomy, which I hadn't watched since, oh goodness, since I was in like 9th or 10th grade maybe, so like 2014 or 2013, 2014, maybe 2015, one of those years. One of those years is the last time I watched it, but I started rewatching it. I don't know why. I need something to watch, and that I had watched before that I didn't need to pay attention to, so I put that on. That's a lot of dramatic things. And that's it. That's it. That's all I've done, really.
Watching
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Wow. Knitting.
Yeah.
So we have not, like, we've been up to mostly doing the crafting thing, and listening to different shows or whatever. But I don't think much else has been going on. These dogs keep us busy while they're here.
We had a visit from my brother
Yes.
and his girlfriend.
Yes. And then my granddaughter.
Yeah. Who doesn't like bugs?
She does not like bugs. It was funny. She was sitting here last night, and there a little, I don't even know what it was, a tiny little bug got on her chair, and I had to get it off. It wasn't an ant at that point.
Oh.
And then
a
fly got on her chair, and she made me get that off of there. And then she looked at the ground and said, "What is that?" And I said, "What is it?" And she said, "It's an ant." And I said, "Oh, there's ants everywhere." And she said, I said, "There's ants all around the world. You're outside. There's going to be ants everywhere." All across the world. I don't like ants, she said. So she does not like bugs.
No. And then when you went inside, I was standing next to her, and she just all of a sudden goes, "Jasmine, Jasmine," and she's pointing at her chair, and I'm like, "I don't know what you're pointing at." And then I sit there and stare at where she's pointing for a minute, and there's just the tiniest bug that's like basically imperceptible to the human eye.
And you had to get rid of it.
Yep. She doesn't like bugs.
She is having her first dance recital next weekend, so we're looking forward to that. We will be going to her dance recital, so excited. Jasmine grew up dancing throughout her entire school years and even preschool. So
from the age of 2.5
Yep.
to like 16 or something, and then I quit. Planned to go back, but then didn't end up going back.
Yes. So we're really looking forward to that. So that's our week coming.
Yep.
So I hope that we both get our goals met. And that is what we will talk about next time. Everybody have a great day and a great week. Enjoy yourselves. Bye.
Bye.